Today is cutting the seats on this 427 tall deck big block that I'm doing for a good friend of mine. I would love to put it in my seat machine, but that's not happening, because if you look, they are angled. So the valves actually sit at an angle, and doing that is just a mess setting it up on here. And unlike your normal small block Chevys, this plane isn't parallel. So holding it in my machine, I didn't want to try to figure that out. So I'm doing it the old school way, and I'm going to be grinding the seats. It's a lot more work, it's just a pain, you can't get it all done in one step. But this is going to be easier than figuring out how to set it up in my machine. So I'm facing my grinding stones. This one I've already done, because I did finish one head already, but I figured I'd do a video for you guys. It's a little more old school. This one I've already wow, come on. Faced it. You know the word. Anyways, this one I haven't done yet. So this is a Sioux machine, and you're going to set your angle on this. This right here is a diamond stone. And you're going to set that diamond stone up against it, just so it makes contact. Put on your grinder. And a little bit more. There we go. We got a nice good surface to work with, and it's going to cut good. So I put a pilot in here, and I've already got my layout fluid. Let's see if I'm going to throw my lighting off with putting that there. That looks pretty good. Put a layout fluid on it so I can see where I'm cutting. The guys are pretty worn out, because to no one's surprise, they had K-liners. If you don't know that, I hate K-liners. So this is I'm going to measure my exhaust valve. 1.66 exhaust valve. So I've got an 11/16 grinding stone, because it's just a little bit bigger, which is fine. I'm going to put this on here. Then I'm going to get my grinder. So it's going to take a little bit of work on this one. When you look here, I got good contact and a good nice cut, and then here I've got no cut at all. So the seat was off-center worn. So I'm going to have to remove some more material. One of them I had to go pretty deep, because I had K-liners, they were wore out, so the valve wasn't going straight. And I've still got a little ways to go. Haven't quite touched in this side here yet, but we're almost there. Now we've got a complete cut all the way around. You can see it's shiny. And next step, we're going to be working on the valve seat relief. The seat on this is a 45 degree. The next stone that we're going to be using is a 30 degree. Because if you've watched my other videos, you'll see that I do a 3-angle cut. Reason being for that, and we'll see how good this focuses. You can see that line on the valve seat, on the line on the valve. You want it a little bit off of the edge, so you cut a relief on there to make sure that you don't burn your valves. And these are actually sodium filled valves, so they do need a relief to make sure you don't burn them up, because that was a problem with the early ones, and they learned from that. They put you have to make sure that the exhaust valves get good cooling. So before I do that, I'm going to put more layout fluid on it so that I can see the next angle. So we got good cut all the way around on this one. So I brush on some more layout fluid. And also, when you're doing this, if you do this at home, make sure you put up a fan. I forgot yesterday, and halfway through a head, you just feel sick. It's not good for you. Make sure you got good ventilation no matter how cold it is. Today's a little brisk. It's 60 degrees for California. That's cold. So I got my nice hot coffee. And this layout fluid just doesn't dry anymore. I love summer. When people say, oh, I love it when it's cold, you got a white collar job. I will take 110 over the cold any day. So 30 degree, because before we have a 45, now it's a 30. And this one goes quick. Cuts a lot faster. So I'm going to take my guide out. And just for now, I'm going to kind of eyeball it. Need a little bit more. And then I'm going to put layout fluid on the valve itself. But for right now, I'm kind of eyeballing it. And this is why I like my 3-angle seat cutter. A lot faster. So I'm going to take a little layout fluid, brush it on the valve itself, and wait for it to dry. So I got layout fluid on my valve, and I'm going to put it in here. Smack it down a few times, and look at there. And focus. There we go. You can see I got a nice, good ring on there all the way around. From hitting it up and down, you know I've got a good seal here. This is going to work good. Make the valve last a lot longer, and maybe even gain a horsepower. It's all good stuff. So that's the end product on the exhaust valve, and I'm going to do this on the exhaust and intakes. And when it's all done, got something looking like that. Not surfacing the cylinder heads. Just gonna leave them the way they are. So I got put new guides in them, and then I cut the seats. And this is the old school way of doing it. So if you don't know it, this is something that you can pick up pretty cheap. If you look out for an auction or something like that, you can find a whole set. I got rid of my old Sue machine, and then I got a Quickway because the Quickway is way better. But sometimes you can get lucky and find all of it. So you have to have a whole bunch of stones for all the different sizes and angles, lots of different guides and stuff. So it's just a lot to accumulate over the years. It takes money and time, but this is something that you can do in your garage. Nothing fancy here. So this is why I don't like K-liners. When you look at this, lighting's hard. Yeah, it's probably better without the light. When you look at this, I've just barely cleaned this up. Starting to look good. Here, I've removed a ton of material. So when they put K-liners in, you're hand drilling it like this, except this is just a ream. And then now your valve is going to be offset. So it's supposed to be like this. Well, now it's like this. Or in this case, it was like this. Right? Yeah. So now I had to remove a ton of material off of this side just to get this cleaned up. So now your valve is just, it's a mess. So don't do them. I have to put up with it all the time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it's informational and helps you in some way. You gotta make sure your time is redeemable. Thanks for watching. You all have a good day.